So just last night, we got the finale of the new Ahsoka series, and let me just tell you, a lot of stuff happened in the show. Of course, back on September 1st, we got some pretty awesome LEGO Star Wars sets from the show, some of which being pretty accurate, some being a little inaccurate, as well as some awesome minifigures, but there's definitely quite a few things missing. Sadly, when LEGO does these sets for movies and shows, they tend to get sent limited concept art and information to work from. That's why we get some sets that make sense fully, and some that either lack a specific figure or have pairings of vehicles that don't make too much sense. That can all change now that the show is over, and more sets containing unknown characters and vehicles could be appearing as soon as summer 2024. So I do have 5 what I want to consider pretty realistic ideas for the show. I will start from the smallest set to the largest set. The first one here being a set from episode 5, which I just want to call Anakin vs. Ahsoka. LEGO used to do these $20 dual packs quite often, and although they have been lacking in recent years, this would be a perfect time to bring one back. So I would retail this for $24.99 in 2024 with about 200 pieces, and actually this time around, 3 minifigures. This would be just a little build of the World Between Worlds platform they fought on, with an additional build in the middle for a feature I want to include. That being the capability of having Anakin fight either young Ahsoka or older Ahsoka in the sequence of him kicking her back through the portal. So the 3 figures I would include would first off be an Anakin Skywalker with a very specific dual-sided head to show his very apparent facial change from Anakin to Vader in that scene. Also a brand new, first time ever, live action younger Ahsoka minifigure, and then also the exact same older Ahsoka that we already got in the previous Ahsoka sets. In my opinion, the figures would carry and sell very well for $25, and that is my first set idea. Next up, we have a set that honestly could maybe be saved for the Dave Filoni movie coming in 2026, but I think this would be a great replacement for the $50 X-Wing retiring at the end of 2023. This one being the Carson Teva's New Republic X-Wing. I would retail this for the same $49.99, have about 500 pieces, and include 4 minifigures. This would be a great way to finally get a New Republic era X-Wing, a Carson Teva figure, also an astromech for the X-Wing, of course, then lastly 2 more prominent characters. It doesn't make too much sense now based off just the Ahsoka series alone. That's why I'm saying maybe wait a couple years on this. But the 2 named characters that I'm thinking at least to match the 2 named characters in the 2021 X-Wing would possibly be Mon Mothma, a brand new version of her, then also a Senator Zioni. I think those would be 2 fun characters to get in a nice little $50 set like that, and to match the same figure lineup from the 2021 version. This X-Wing would, of course, be slightly different than a Rebellion era, X-Wing, have a little extra color to it, but for the most part be the exact same size and not look too different, but still, allow for them to have a pretty basic X-Wing on shelves that is pretty relevant to the current media that Star Wars is putting out. Moving into some sets involving the new planet introduced in Ahsoka called Peridia. I would call this first one the Peridia Chase. This would retail for $49.99, have about 400 pieces, and include 4 minifigures. This would include a brand new molded Howler mount chasing a Nodi speeder home. The 4 figures being a bandit to ride the Howler, a new Nodi character figure, Sabine Wren, and the highlight being the first ever live action Ezra Bridger minifigure. This would be a fun set for some new figures and some new molds, and above all else be a nice play set for kids to have fun with, and in specific for me, I just want that Nodi minifigure badly.
No, Ezra Bridger. He's my friend.
Within the same episode, we see this next set idea take place. I would call this the Imperial Police Gunship. This would pretty much be a color swap of the 2014 Coruscant Police Gunship to Imperial colors, retailing at $69.99, including 500 pieces and then 5 minifigures. I would include our first ever Ahsoka the White minifigure in her brand new white outfit, also a Shin Hati with a proper cape, but the rest of the minifigure could kind of be the same that we already got. I would not complain too much about that. 2 Night Troopers, of course 2 different prints preferably. Pretty much no 2 Night Troopers were the same from what we saw, so 2 unique Night Troopers would be ideal. Then lastly, a simple little TIE pilot to fly the gunship. This is a very long overdue vehicle for LEGO to remake, let alone actually, make an Imperial version. We first saw these in Rebels almost, 6 or 7 years ago, and now is the perfect time to make the set and include some incredible minifigures. The final set of the video, and what I think is 1000% the most obvious set they should make, is the one, the only, Thrawn's Chimaera Star Destroyer. The reappearance of this ship has taken the internet by storm the past few weeks. It has been 10 years since our last Imperial Star Destroyer in play scale size, so now with Thrawn being the big bad of the Mandoverse, a LEGO set could easily follow. I would classify this set as needing to be at least $170, consisting of about 1,500 pieces, mainly to get extra detail on the top, such as battle damage, and the infamous design on the bottom in a proper manner. Also, 6 minifigures I would include, all of which being brand new. Personally include a brand new first ever live action Grand Admiral Thrawn minifigure, a Captain Enoch, which a lot of people want to see in LEGO form, one Night Trooper, which again hopefully is a little bit different of design than the ones we would see in the possible Imperial police gunship. Then I would also personally include all 3 Great Mothers. I guess you kind of could go either way with this. You could include some of our heroes, but you know, the last Star Destroyer was actually all villains and all bad guy characters in there, so I could definitely see them doing something where, you know, they just include minifigures like this, you know, some heavy hitters, you know, some exclusive figures that you probably would not see pop up in other sets, at least not for a little while, and really make that $170 value worth it. And then also, my only worry on a set like this would be, would they even bother trying to do the battle damage on it? Would they include gold on it? Would they only keep it, you know, light gray and dark gray? Would they try to make it anything special in it? Especially at the end of the day, if you're going to make the Chimaera and, you know, claim it to be, you know, Thrawn Star Destroyer, you need to get that infamous design on the bottom. So those are my worries on the fact of, would LEGO attempt to do that? Would they do it right? Would they cop out? Only time will tell, I guess. Well, everyone, that is all the ideas for today that I have. As always, I try to keep the ideas as realistic as possible and spread out as many characters as possible throughout said sets. Leave a comment down below if you guys think LEGO would make any of these, and do you guys have any personal favorites I mentioned, or anything that you guys thought of that I did not say in this video that you guys would want as a set. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was a fun one to make. If you guys want to see my Ahsoka show opinions, I have it over on my Instagram story. Overall, look, I think it was a fantastic show. I think it was, you know, a really big kind of setup show for the future, which I'm not too big of a fan of, but nonetheless, a very stacked cast, a very stacked, you know, lineup of characters, and nonetheless, just a beautiful show that had a lot of highs, you know, not too many lows, luckily. So overall, definitely a nice addition to the Star Wars universe, and I can't wait to see where they go next, you know, with this show and with the Dave movie, possibly Ahsoka Season 2. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys, and stay safe.